Ten Hag has gone ahead to pronounce the struggles of Mason Mount that is going through at Man United. Remember, it was confirmed to us on Friday that Mason Mount is really injured, and his period that is going to spend out of action is going to be close to 4 weeks. Welcome to United Matters channel. Good morning, guys. Hope you're really having a very good day. It's the match day, and Man United is going to be hosted by Everton in a game that is really pivotal, where we need to obviously win this game, because if at all we win, we will be 6 points behind the table leaders. Remember, Arsenal is having 30 points, and if at all you win, we'll be at 24 points, meaning that we'll be just 6 points behind the table leaders, that is Arsenal. Those are 2 games away. So all I want to confirm to you is simple. Just go ahead and obviously keep on this channel, because the best that you deserve is obviously going to come in here. And then Ten Hag has gone ahead and addressed the injuries that are really surging at Man United, because it looks like every week we really get a player who is really injured, and that is none other than Eric Ten Hag throwing light. And Kobbie Mainoo today might be into the starting 11 of Man United, as being reported in by the account known as the Man United Academy, because according to how the drones that were sent by the academy, by this channel, by this account on X of the academy during the training session yesterday at Carrington, it was all clear that this guy was into the starting 11 of the club of Man United as they take on Everton. So let's see close to 200 likes. Smash on this video. We thank God for the gift of life. It's a Sunday. Those going to church, go ahead and obviously enjoy yourself. And those that are really willing to obviously pray from home, do the needful. For the Muslims, Barakallahu fikum, and let's get it started. And let's start it off with the story coming in from Eric Ten Hag, coming out and really confirming the struggles of Mason Mount at the club of Manchester United. We can look for reasons for that. There are reasons when there are injuries. The back four is not working. We have to make lots of changes in defense, which has an impact in the balance of midfield. As of attacking, we have to make lots of changes, which leads to lack of automatisms. Still, I think we had moments where we did well, where he did very well, but I think that stopped when he got injured. So guys, trust me, we should stop experimenting. I was one of the people who was here and was not okay with Eric Ten Hag signing Mason Mount, because I thought we needed a central defender like Kim Min-jae first before we thought about getting in Mason Mount. And we are having struggles right now in the central defense, and the midfield is really having very many players. When you look at the club of Manchester United, one of the most compacted areas on the pitch of Man United is the midfield. However much you're having Casemiro and Eriksen away, but trust me, the games you're going to play, these people are not going to be missed, because you're having Amrabat, there is Kobbie Mainoo, there is Scott McTominay, there is Bruno Fernandes, there is Donny van de Beek. You understand? So there are very many players that can really play into that midfield. There is Hannibal. So it looks like you're really having a bloated midfield. But when you look at the central defense, we are really shite. Let's all agree. We are really shite. And for Mason Mount, this is, I think, the third time. The third time he's getting injured when he came into that Man United. And Chelsea might have gone ahead to dodge a bullet because of the results that you're getting right now. Chelsea might have gone ahead to dodge a bullet, and they've gone ahead to get close to 55 million pounds. They might not get the add-ons, the 5 million pounds to make it 60, but 55 million pounds, Chelsea have gone ahead to make what they call an absolute business, absolute profits, because they've gone ahead to dodge a bullet of a player who was left with Vienna on his contract, and this player is at the club where he's not performing, and he has not settled in. Let's all agree. He has not settled in for a second at the club of Man United, and Eric Ten Hag has the right to come in through and defend the players, but we all know Mason Mount is struggling, and he's going to struggle to get into the team of Man United. And trust me, if he doesn't obviously do what he's supposed to do, he might find himself getting stiff competition from the midfield of Man United, and it's going to be hard for him to obviously get a place in that midfield of Man United, unless otherwise Ten Hag really thinks of playing him as a right attacking midfielder, because most of the goals that Mason Mount has gone ahead to score at Chelsea and in his career, he has gone ahead to score them as an attacking midfielder. So I think Ten Hag knows exactly what is going to hate to cause this, and he has to understand that he has going to hate to obviously make a bad signing, and he's not the only manager that is going to hate to make signings that are going to hate to fail to work out. For example, when you go to Chelsea, when you go to teams like Man City, because I want to obviously bring in Man City, players like Ferran Torres fail to work out, and I think Ten Hag is still in his early days at the club of Manchester United, and I think he should now understand it that when you're going to sign an English player for £60 million, you have to be very much observant. And that has been the first English player that Erik Ten Hag has gone ahead to sign. And he has to obviously understand that these English players, most of them are really overrated. So, if you go for an English player like Ebelechi Eze, talent is into that player, There are other better English players that would have gone ahead to get in for and obviously put in that midfield to come in and help us. But I think Ten Hag got it wrong, and I'm here to be proven right. I'm here to be proven right. But Mason Mount is really that kind of player that I believe it's going to take heaven to drop on the ground for him to perform at the club of Manchester United. So his struggles have been confirmed by Erik Ten Hag, and I think he is really putting in a very good statement on the player. Now, he went ahead to really vocalize the injuries at the club of Man United. He said, last year, we played the most games in all of Europe. Last year was a weird year with the World Cup in the middle of the season. Every manager has complained about the calendar. Yesterday, I had the statements of Thomas Tuchel. This is the case of all managers, but they continue to add matches to the calendar. Next year, they'll add 2 more matches. I think that we have already reached the limits that the players can handle. What we see now in the first 12 Premier League games is that the standards and the physical standards are even higher compared to last year. So you must prepare well. Now, for the case of last year, because the World Cup was in December, I think every manager can exonerate himself because of injuries. That is it. But I think, apart from the 2 games that are going to be added onto the calendar next year, there is nothing else you can obviously come in here and really assure me that is going to hit to change in the number of games that people have been playing in the game of football. Even in 2000, even 2001, teams like Man United used to play in the Carabao Cup. By the time it was called the Washington Cup, they used to play into the FA Cup. They used to play in the Premier League and the Champions League. And the number of games were the same. For last year, we all knew that those games that were really added to the players, especially when you look at players like those that played for England, they played until the quarterfinal. They played 3 games in the group stage. They played 5 more games. Those are really games that would have gone ahead to see these players really rest. Players like Kylian Mbappe, who played for France, and those that played for Argentina, they had how many more games? I think they had more 7 games played. So it is really right for last season, but I cannot come out and say that the 2 games that are going to be added to the Champions League teams are obviously going to come in through and obviously become a problem for the club of Manchester United. That is really a very bad excuse, and we need to obviously ask ourselves what's wrong with the players getting injured. I know others are getting injured, but for Mason Mount, he literally played less games for Chelsea last season, and we all know the games that he played for Chelsea. If I might be exact, let me check here. Last season, the player that is into the spotlight came in through and played only 9 games in the Champions League for Chelsea. He played 24 games in the Premier League for Chelsea. And he played 1 game in the EFL Cup and 2 games into the Club World Cup and one game into the UEFA Super Cup. 3, 4, 28. He played 37 games. And at the World Cup, he only played 41 games. That is it. And he was injured a lot last season. So I don't think that should be a reason to give that is causing the reasons for injured Mason Mount. But all I can understand is simple. There is something that has to get right for Mason Mount. He's really having troubles that have to be solved. He's still having a lot of pressure. He wants to go to play in the Euros, and it looks like it's hard for him to get into the starting 11 of Man United. And there are very many players that are really outperforming him as far as that is concerned. So let's wait and see how that pans out. But the struggles have been really talked about. Let's talk about this story as I sum up this first episode of the day. Erik ten Hag plans to hand Kobbie Mainoo his first ever Premier League start against Everton today. It's coming in from the Academy Scoop, covering coverage and analysis of youth football across the world with a specialization in Manchester United Academy. Now, if the story is going to hate to be leaked coming in from the Academy Scoop, it shows you that it's coming in from a very credible source. And for me, I'll be very elated to see to it that this boy really gets into the team. He's press resistant, he puts up all the energy, and he goes ahead to obviously put in the best that is obviously required for him to obviously thrive. And for me, it's high time he got into the team. With injuries of players like Casemiro, Eriksson, I want to see him in the team. Though Erik ten Hag might put him in alongside Scott McTominay, but I would love to see him play alongside Amrabat. That is it. That's how I would love to see this man play into this beautiful game of football. And if at all he comes in, Toronto obviously puts in the required shift as a guy of the club of Manchester United, then I would love to see him really consolidate that position. That is it. Because he's really talented, and him putting up a show will help us go ahead and really put up a lot of energy down in Galatasaray. Because if you go to Galatasaray, when you're having Kobbie Mainoo, Amrabat and Scott McTominay, then Bruno Fernandes, Rasmus Højlund, Garnacho, I think we can put up a show, because we will be having very mobile bodies that are really strong to obviously tussle it out with these players. And I was going to hate to miss out on very many games of Man United because of injury, but all in all, the positive has been he returned well. Erik ten Hag is going to hate to give him enough time to really tussle it out with the Academy of Man United. He got some 2 games with England under-19. Remember, he's the captain. So all I can let you know is that this guy is good to go. He's good to go, and it's time for him to obviously get into the starting 11 of Man United. I'll be elated to see this guy start, because that will obviously announce a chapter of Erik ten Hag that whoever player of Man United who plays in our academy and puts up a shift is obviously going to get a chance to play into the team of Manchester United. That is it. So the gateway is open from the academy into the team of Man United, and no doubts that this won't obviously get us to where we deserve to be as a club of Manchester United. So guys, thank you very much for watching through. Tell me your thoughts about Ten Hag addressing Mason Mount struggles, and Kobbie Mainoo rumored to be starting into the team of Man United today as we play away at Everton. Would you start him? Yes or no? A sign out for now. See you later. May the living to God bless you abundantly. Rokan David remains my name, and I'm out for now. See you later, my lovelies. I love you, and the Muslims, Barakallahu fikum. Ciao, ciao.